Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. When you see cause on there, where the spark inside the flame, from the first light to the last mile, stay with us a while.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. It's a beautiful and a cloudy Friday morning, and you're welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. This is your favorite online radio station, streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio TV, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Join us this morning. Let's serve you breakfast. This is the news review, and right here we bring you the relevant stories making waves in the news. This morning we get to feed you what is in the news, what is trending, what is government saying, what are people doing. This morning, this is what we are here for. And I am your host, Ruth Esenam Fiakbedu, and I'll be doing this with Ms. Regina Bless and Ms. Debbie Adoso. But not forgetting, today is National Cleanup Exercise Day. So make sure that if your store or if your shop is open, please close it before they come for you. Right. Good morning, ladies, and you're welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hope all is well.
By grace, your side.
I'm good. Just tired.
I know, right?
Miss Debbie, how are you doing?
The grace is sufficient.
We thank God. Today is Sanitation Day. Cleanup Exercise Day. Movie uncle cleaning
You say,
Movie uncle cleaning.
oh,
You don't have
my
any-
cleaning me fear that.
Oh, they said for that one they will be tomorrow. But today they are cleaning our offices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Christy when you.
You see what I'm saying?
And you say no, if you're best supervisor.
Oh,
So you're
okay.
chief, you
I
can also
see.
choose
So
supervisors.
supervision. Oh, okay, so Miss Christie, please, we need supervision. Why? Today is National Cleanup Day, so make sure that you all get involved wherever you are in your offices. It's not a holiday, though, but I think that government has already outlined how it's going to take place and how it's going to be like. So today is going to be in the offices. So make sure that if you see your colleagues start cleaning, get involved. Don't sit there and be like, pretend as if you are bigger than somebody in the office like that. Clean, clean, clean. Let's all get involved. Right, let's dive into the news items we have this morning. This is quite funny, but in a way it makes a lot of sense. Government sets up committee to develop database on shrines in Ghana. Government sets up committee to develop database on shrines in Ghana. The Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, says government has set up a committee to create a national database of shrines and other religious sites across Ghana. According to the minister, the exercise is intended to determine how many shrines exist in the country and to develop a clear definition of what qualifies as a shrine. Speaking before Parliament's Committee on Assurance, Mr. Ibrahim explained that the committee is made up of officials from the Ministries of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs Directorate, as well as experts in policy, planning, research, monitoring, statistics, and information management. Regional coordinating councils will also support the exercise. He said the task is not as simple as counting physical structures because shrines can take different forms and may not always be easily identified. The minister noted that some people claim to operate shrines without any clear standards, making it necessary for government to establish guidelines on what should officially be recognized as a shrine. According to him, the committee would develop a strong framework to define shrines before compiling the national database. He also explained that shrines are not necessarily physical buildings and, depending on religious or traditional beliefs, could include objects or symbols with spiritual significance. Government believes the exercise will provide better data to support policy making and improve the management of religious and traditional affairs in the country. So this is coming from the Minister for Local Governments, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, in the person of Ahmed Ibrahim. And yesterday, during the Public Assurance Committee, he mentioned that government has set up a committee to develop database on shrines in Ghana, and this is actually going to allow them to verify or to tell what actually qualifies to be a shrine. Shrine is not just your belief, but it's also the symbols and its significance. So now they are going to make sure that they get that database, and then they tell us if this really qualifies to be a shrine and the guideline for policy making. Ms. Debbie, do you find this actually relevant, that a committee should actually be set aside to have the database of shrines? In the first place, are they even regarded in a country at all? Or is a new thing we are seeing now?
If you go to every country, there is a shrine. And just like we have the Christians and the Muslim, we also have people who are idol worshippers, and that is what they believe, that is their belief. So they have a place where they worship, a place of worship. So their place of worship is in the shrine. But then I feel like the reason why government wants to take this on is we have people who claim to be fetish priest or fetish priestess, and they are using that to extort money from people. Others are using that for human trafficking. Others are using that to defraud others. There were instances where it popped out that a fetish priestess required a sum of money. They go there and then they realized that it was human being he needed. And so it should tell you that most of these fetish priests or fetish priestess are not real fetish priests or priestess. They just have that tag on them because they want to make money for themselves. And I can tell you there are a lot of people who are using that means to gain money. We saw the instance of Nana Grada. She was a fetish priestess. First she said she was a fetish priestess, now evangelist, and right now I feel like she's a prophetess. Yes, so for her it is a gradual process from a fetish priestess to an evangelist to a prophetess. Rebranding. That is her own. I see no reason why we should come up with a committee. This has to do with money, because setting up a committee has to do with we investing more money into that, and you're going to pay the people. The committee you are setting is not going to be made up of chairs, it's made up of humans, and you're supposed to pay them. This is data they are going to collect, so it means that they are going to target all 16 regions of this country, and not only the 16 regions. In every region there are villages. You have to go to these villages because shrines are most often in remote areas. That is where these people are. So it means that we need enough, the government needs to back the committee with enough resources so that they can go to that remote areas, go on grounds, gather their data, gather the needed info. So it's a whole lot of money. I see no reason why we should come up with a committee at the first place. But then, as I said, a lot of people are using this as a yardstick to drain people of their money. That is what they are doing. And so there are two things involved in this. They are doing this either to clamp down on these fraudsters who claim to be fetish priest or fetish priestess. And I think one thing that they need to do is that the people need to explain. If we talk about Sharon, what does it mean? Why are you there? Like, although we know, but I think this info is very, very needed.
But first off, they should actually come out and tell us what actually qualifies to be a shrine. As it stands now, according to the reports, they haven't even defined it.
Unless they are done with the collection of their data and gather the necessary info, then I guess they can tell us more to that.
Because people need to know. So you go to a shrine and then you say that you don't qualify to be a shrine, and then I ask you what actually qualifies to be a shrine, and you can't tell me. Then why are you coming to demolish my entity?
It's very nice. We need to demolish it because everybody at all can be a fetish priest. The only thing you need is to get a white cloth or red cloth with shire, with calabash, and maybe
the gods will fight for them.
That's why the gods have to be blamed there.
Yeah, so earlier I mentioned that I didn't even recognize at all. But when I studied RMA, they said that there are three religious Christianity, Islam, and also traditional rulers.
Yeah,
so I think
they are recognized.
Yeah. Correction, Miss Regina.
So the way they want to set up a committee to look into these shrines, have they also done the same for churches?
Because now
there are lots church
for her.
To me, I don't know. I feel like it's not relevant to me. It's not relevant, especially looking at the setting of a committee. Is it everything that we are supposed to set a committee? Because mind you, Omobeji Scout,
of course,
no one would come and sit there and waste their time and you wouldn't pay them. So if every little thing we would have to set up a committee there, then and then it should be our taxpayers' money never sang. But I think in the other way, it makes sense because the shrines of these days that are coming up. I don't know if you see on TikTok. There's this young man there. He has a school.
Where they train.
Or one who school.
Is it a calling? It's not supposed to be a calling, or it's supposed to be
a calling. And to one we name say a come also no bra. Where bra. No be.
Yeah.
So at the moment that I was like, hey, I come who school. I never knew this thing is that serious. Where you go learn spiritual things. I'm like, oh, okay. So I think they really need to look into that aspect. But setting up a committee, to me, it's a no. But making sure that your friend is saying the number of shrines, should I say, go down or increase, but we have to make it decrease. Because these kids are being influenced. This casual incidents that happened. Say akolani so okoji sikeju.
Exactly.
Say abosom no henta no okoji sikeju. Na ka abosom bi enu han kon okoji sikeju to the extent of killing your colleague. And we've seen instances where people lure other people to that places just to kill them. And I think it's bad. And this fetish priest also, in a way, they are also deceiving people to take their money from them. So the same way they arrested Agrada is the same way they are supposed to arrest a lot of these fetish priest people, because they are defrauding people by false pretense.
False pretense.
And Agrada, God being so good, she has rebranded. So we thank God.
We thank God.
Yes.
But you know, some people also have their belief in these objects and
objects that can work.
But they believe, because if you believe it will work for you. Just like the way you also pray and you believe in God, and something happens, like, oh yes, I remember I believe and I actually prayed for it, and now it's happening. So people have their objects of worship. I went to the comment section and someone was like, how are they going to take Ghana serious? How? Anyways, let's proceed. Ghana to experience tomato gluts in 3 to 4 months. The Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, says Ghana could experience a surplus of tomatoes within the next 3 to 4 months as government implements measures to increase local production. Speaking before Parliament's Committee on Assurance, the minister said ongoing agricultural interventions are expected to boost tomato farming and reduce Ghana's dependency on imported tomatoes. He explained that government is working on an off-take system to ensure farmers have ready buyers for their produce and prevent losses when production increases. Mr. Poku added that government is engaging tomato processors to purchase the expected surplus while investing in solar-powered boreholes to support irrigation and allow farmers to produce throughout the year. According to him, these measures are expected to improve opportunities for farmers, strengthen food security, and help Ghana become less reliant on imported tomatoes. The minister expressed confidence that the increased production will soon reflect in the market and benefit both farmers and consumers. In as much as there's going to be a surplus, there should be something that we should all be excited about. Now, going to the market to buy tomatoes, you are even scared. Tomatoes 10 cedis, then they give you one small one. Tomatoes 10 cedis. How did we get here as a country that food produce have become so expensive that it's so difficult to even purchase? And I'm wondering how the restaurants and these food joints are actually enduring this and also fed and making sure that they prepare the food for people to consume, because it's quite alarming. I don't know if you have experienced that, Miss Regina. Tomatoes 10 cedis, small one.
I remember the last time I wanted to prepare my usual recipe, water. And I wanted to go and buy tomatoes so that I'll just chop it in. Mommy catcher me say one is 5 cedis. I honestly didn't have a problem with the one, but the size she brought to me
is discouraging.
I was like, now this small thing 5 cedis. I said, I'm sorry, ma, I will not buy it. See, I understand that sometimes these things become expensive, but I feel like sometimes this market women over exaggerate it too.
Seriously,
especially with this ginger issue going on. It is becoming too much. It is becoming too much. Yes, too much. So this is a wake-up call, and I'm happy with the fact that now we would be enjoying tomato. And see, everything has a season. Until we are 3 to 4 months, no, the next month to come, no, be expecting tomato shortage.
Yeah,
we should be expecting it, because I say Ghana, no. Shut down any straight part I am so, and that you also yaba form, and I think it's discouraging. We have to be stable when it comes to these things, because we shouldn't always be importing tomatoes into the country.
Exactly.
We have the resources, we have the lands, but these people no mon pebre they be mon ko jembrasa and so I think this 3 to 4 months, let's do what to enjoy the tomato, and also to the market women. Don't make it expensive. Sisi tomatoes no bobe funo. O say no boy ya be next person how kwakoto.
Say pen na buy no be 5 cedis.
Be 5 cedis. But we say so tie no. One crab it mean and best 20 cedis. Yeah, so I think it's a good thing, and we should prioritize planting our own locals. We have the ginger, we have onions, we have tomato, pepper, a lot of things that every day we consume. We should do it ourselves. We should produce it ourselves.
We have fertile lands. One thing that is actually a perfect time. You get it, but we've not taken advantage of that, and that is because we don't plan ahead. We wait for the issue to come close. How do we say? The issue will we are reactive about it. We are not proactive about it. We wait for the issue to come at hand before we solve it. That's one problem I think we are facing as a country. Yes, Debbie.
Yeah, so Ghana experiencing to experience tomato glut in the next 3 months. I feel it's a good news, and it also means that for the past few months the government is trying its possible means through the Ministry of Agri. They are putting everything in place to ensure that we don't struggle with accessing common veggies like the tomato and other veggies that we consumed daily. Now, Ghana is a country that 99% of whatever we consume here in the country is being dependent on other African countries or other foreigners. We import almost 99% of whatever we consume here. Although we have fertile land that can actually help us to plant all this, but we don't do it with which I think, I don't really know what is the problem, but then I feel like we don't have a long-term plan. We don't plan. We only plan for short term. We don't plan for a very long period of time. So, anytime something of this pop up, I mean, it hits very hard at us. So, if this is what the minister is saying, it is good. But then, do we have a warehouse? Do we have industries where we can boldly say that when this happens, we can store the tomato, and then ensure that if we gradually get into a season where tomato, the rise in tomato has decreased, then we can actually all supply it to the consumers. Then I believe that will help, but in a way where we are only interested in the glut of the tomato, but then we are not interested in storing it when it becomes it comes in abundance. Then it means that when it gets to a time where there is shortages of tomato, we will still have to depend on other African countries for the tomato. And then when it happens like that, mind you, the prices of tomato are not going to decrease, it will still increase. The price of which Burkina Faso will sell a box of tomato to our traders here in Ghana is different from when we ourselves cultivate it and is being sold directly from the farmer to the trader. So the best thing should be done, and I think this is one of the secrets of other African countries. They have warehouse where they store this tomato. If you go to Burkina Faso, they have a whole big factory that process this raw tomato into tomato paste, and then supply it to other countries as well. So we can equally do same. 99% of the factories we have here are being owned by private entities.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. We can as well sell the tomato to them. They should process it. We'll come and buy, as simple as that. So for me, 3 months to come, we have a tomato in glut.
3 to 4 months.
It means that the Minister of Agri and the government has really put things in place, and I think the benefit is what we'll be seeing very soon.
Yeah, the benefits will be what we'll be seeing very soon. And just as Miss Regina has said, if the surplus come, please allow us to enjoy it. When you buy 5 CDs, you're supposed to give 4. Give 4. Don't give us 2. NPP leadership structure could trigger internal conflict if not reviewed. Former majority leader Osei Mensah Bonsu has warned that the new Patriotic Party's current leadership structure could create internal conflict if the party does not review its constitutional arrangements. The chief of staff of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign team said the party needs to clarify who should officially be recognized as its leader to avoid possible disagreements in the future. Under the NPP's current arrangement, the leadership role is linked to the national chairman. Whether the party is in position or is in government, however, Mr. Che Mensah Bonsu believes this could become problematic if the national chairman and the party's presidential candidate do not support the same person or belong to different factions. He explained that some party members want the constitution amended to formally recognize the presidential candidate as the party leader, while others prefer the current system where the presidential candidate is seen as the leader in practice but not officially stated. According to him, failing to address the issue could create confusion and tension within the party. The proposed leadership changes are among several constitutional amendments the NPP is expected to consider at its National Delegate Conference scheduled for September 19th, 2026. Another one again. Where new national officers will also be elected. Other proposed reforms include giving polling station executive clearer responsibilities, including promoting the party's program, registering members, and reporting grassroots activities. The party has invited members to submit proposed constitutional amendments ahead of delegates' conference, where the proposal will be debated and decided on. It looks like if things are not put in place properly, the NPP will go on another internal conflict. Ms. Debbie.
So it means that there are still some hitches in the New Patriotic Party that needs to be solved. And sometimes I wonder if they are not tired. Like, seriously speaking,
I'm not tired of the fight.
yes, like I wonder if they are not tired, because day in day out there are releases that they are meeting, from delegate conference to internal what's the name, internal meeting, where every time all their message has to be on peace, how to unite the party, how to close the gap between the grassroots and those at the top. This has been the line of their meeting throughout. And sometimes I feel like they are not paying attention to the main cause. You know what is the cause of all these challenges, the genesis of whatsoever you are going through, you know it. So the best thing is see to it that the right thing is being done. As simple as that. Because all the time they keep having a meeting and it's the same thing, uniting the party, but there is no unity. So when they come together to unite the party, they end up dividing the party. That is how I see it. They end up disorganizing what they've even gathered. So it doesn't really make sense. We were here when the MPP said they brought out the National Delegate Conference, and they said they want to unite the party. Blows and for boy and that day, it wasn't easy. And then it speak bad of the party. Sometimes I wish they listen to the party faithfuls themselves, because I remember vividly on that day there were party members that were disclosing their displeasure with the party, looking at what is going on, and some of them are even shy on behalf of the leaders themselves. So you see, the leaders that are coming up with this whole meeting and fixing challenges of the party internally, those leaders are not even united. So it looks as if anytime they are trying to fix, someone is breaking apart. Anytime they are trying to fix, someone is sitting somewhere and then is rubbishing whatever they are doing. So it's like cos 90 log 1. That is what they are doing. If they are not tired, I'm tired on their behalf. Sincerely speaking, I'm tired on their behalf, because I feel like where they are right now, they should forgo about. This is not even the time to be speaking about unity. You should have united for a long time. How many years do you have left? We'll be going for our next election in 2028. We have about one. So let me not just add this year, because we are almost done with this year. So let me just say we are left with only 1 year for we to go to have the next election in 2028. What are you doing, MPP? What? Oh goodness! If it's somebody that is bewitching this party, the person is not trying its best. Trust me. But I think one thing they need to do is they should all come to a realization that they are all at fault. As simple as ABC. Point out what the mistakes are, and then bring out a permanent solution to it, and then ensure that whatever led to that misunderstanding never happened again or never occurred again. If not, then it's a waste of time, because no matter how many numbers, how many times they call for a unity conference or whatever it is, and the main challenge is not being sorted out, forget it. It's just as I said, it's a waste of time, because after this there will still be another call.
Miss Regina.
Yeah. So to the MPP, I'm not here to advise them.
Why?
They should do what they want to do. If they like, they should be at each other's throats. It is their own cup of tea. It is becoming too much. You when adults who are adult enough to think properly, to reason, are not reasoning, who are we to talk about it? This issue has been going on for years and years and years, and these people are still on it. So who am I?
But do you think that the elected presidential candidate should be the leader of the party rather than the national chairman?
The leader of the party, that's an MPP party.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
The flag bearer is definitely the leader of the party.
But it is not official. Per what Mr. Chairman Sabonsu said.
but who is currently the leader?
So as it stands now, the national chairman I know is Richard Anyagba.
Yeah. True.
So he's automatically the leader, just as we have in the NDC. In as much as President John Dramani Mahama is the president, he's not officially the leader, but Esiedun Kesia is the leader of the NDC.
Yeah, so I don't think Baumia should be the leader. It's just like you being in church and a position is given to you, like youth president. Does that give you authority over the church?
To be the pastor.
Exactly. So the pastor is there, and the pastor together with the congregants elected you to be the youth president. So you have to allow them do their thing. So I think Baumia, the fact that he's the flag bearer doesn't mean that he's the leader. Just as you said, Esiedun Ketia is the leader. Your friend is saying, Richard Anyagba is the leader, and also Esiedun Ketia is the leader of NDC.
Yeah.
But Mahama is not the leader of NDC.
Yes.
Simple. He's just the president of Ghana.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say president of NDC.
Nah,
That was so fast. Thank you so much for joining us on the news review. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Bringing you Today in History with me. On this day, 1893, pioneering black doctor performs successful open heart surgery. Black surgeon Dr. Daniel Hill Williams successfully performed one of the world's first open heart surgeries, operating at Chicago's Providence Hospital on the patient with a severe chest wound. He successfully repaired the tear in the sac surrounding the heart. 1940. The Battle of Britain begins as the German Luftwaffe launched a series of bombing raids against shipping ports and coastal targets in southern England. Nazi Germany sought to destroy the Royal Air Force to establish air dominance for Operation Sea Lion, a planned amphibious invasion of Britain. To some few global observances, today is Global Energy Independence Day. It promotes the transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and geothermal. It intentionally coincides with the birthday of inventor Nikola Tesla to honor his pioneering contributions to electrical power and sustainable innovation. We also have National Motorcycle Day. It brings riders together to honor motorcycle culture, promote road safety, and advocate for charities. It was founded in 2016 to recognize the positive community impact of motorcyclists. It is the perfect summer excuse to take your ride out on the open road. And lastly, in Ghana, today is National Cleanup Day. So please do all to go out and clean your environment. And that's all for today on Today in History and some global observances, live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Ms. Regina Bless, for Today in History and some global observances of the day. And as she mentioned, National Cleanup Day. Get involved. Up next, we have Debbie's Girl.
Welcome to Debbie's Grow, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear or favor. The Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, has revealed that the government disbursed 107 million Ghana cedis in allowances to all 9,090 assembly members across the country, exceeding the 100 million Ghana cedis allocation captured in the 2025 budget. Addressing Parliament Assurance Committee, the minister said the payment fulfills President Mohammed's commitment to provide financial support to assembly members. The president promised 100 million in the 2025 budget. By 31st December 2025, the president had paid 107 million to all assembly members in the country. He explained that the beneficiaries comprise 6,272 elected assembly members and 2,813 government-appointed assembly members, bringing the total number of recipients to 9,090. According to the minister, each assembly member receives a monthly allowance of 1,300, which is paid quarterly through the country's 261 metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies. Mr. Ibrahim said his ministry had put in place measures to ensure the prompt disbursement of the funds, noting that the money is transferred directly to the assembly as soon as it is released by the Ministry of Finance. He further disclosed that the first quarter allowance for 2026 was released this week and that he had already directed the financial controller to transfer the funds immediately to the assemblies for onwards payment. The minister also addressed concerns raised by some assembly members over the deduction of taxes from the allowances. He said some beneficiaries had requested that the payment be exempt from tax, but explained that allowances are taxable under Ghana's tax laws. Mr. Ibrahim commended Parliament for approving the allocation and supporting the ministry effort to implement the allowance policy. He said the regular payment of the allowances reflect government commitment to strengthening local governance and providing assembly members with the financial support needed to perform their duties effectively. So this is from the Minister of Local Government and Chieftaincy. He has revealed that about 107 million has been paid to 9,090 assembly members in 2025. Now let's look at the roles of some assembly members, or the roles of the assembly members, the MMDAs. So what they do is to pass laws for district on issues like sanitation, market building, trading. They approve plans and budget. So they approve the district development plan and annual budget before projects start. And they also identify the needs of the community and prepare development plans for roads, schools and clinics. In collaboration with central government and NGOs, they implement projects to improve living standards. Now they collect rates, fees, licenses and seek support from central government, donors and partners. They also oversee roads, drains, markets, lorry parks and public toilets. They work with health and environmental officers on sanitation, waste management and food safety. They issue business operating permits, control hawkers and enforce building codes. The assembly members are elected from electoral areas to voice concerns of their community. They explain government policies to citizens and take citizens' concerns back to the government. So they support festival, traditional authorities and the preservation of heritage, including cultural sites. They coordinate education, health, gender and child protection programs. So, like I said, excuse me, government has paid 107 million to 9,090 assembly members. I read their rules because, excuse me, some assembly members, it looks as if they don't really know what they are up to. Now, my problem is not about the disbursement of the money, but my concern is, are these MMDAs, are they all doing their work as they are supposed to do? Now, I know that some assembly members are doing their work, but some of them are not doing their work as they are supposed to do. I'm saying this because if you take your time to listen to the public account committees with the MMDAs coming on board to answer to questions, you will realize that most of these assembly members do not really know their role, and some of them are not doing what is expected for them. And the money that is being released to the assembly's common fund to be used for the community development project are not being used for its intended purpose. And so, if you listen to me very well, when I was reading the roles of the MMDAs, it stated that they are one of their role has to do with ensuring that the roads are in good shape, ensuring that the communities have chip compound, ensuring that the communities have basic social amenities like the toilets, the chips compound, potable water. All these are things that the MMDAs are supposed to ensure that these communities have. And they are also supposed to ensure that once in every week, or maybe once in a month, or maybe thrice in a month, there is a communal labor in that particular municipality or the community or the district. And this communal labor has to do with promoting good sanitation out there. The gutters are being cleaned, the roads that is being dirtied with rubbish and all that are being picked, the right thing is being done. But like I said, most of these MMDAs do not do their work. Now, there are instances where money was being disbursed to Assembly's common fund, and those monies were supposed to be given to persons with disability. Now, persons with disabilities have a percentage which they receive every month. And then it came to the notice that this some MMDAs divert the money for a different thing. And then I remember that in one particular district, they said the community were having, I think, something like school prize, speech and prize giving day. And so they used the money that was meant for persons with disabilities. They used that money to buy awards, gifts and all that to encourage the students. Now, what they are doing is not wrong. Gifting out to students to encourage them to do more, it is not wrong. But it is wrong when you use a fund that is not meant for that. The money you use in purchasing those awards is not for those schools. It's not for those students. The money is being meant for a particular group of people, and this group of people are the persons with disabilities. And then you use the money for something different. And then when they were asked why they did that, they said, "Oh, so they were waiting for the next month where government will release the funds, then they will sort things out." And I was like, look at this. And one thing I ask myself is sometimes, excuse me, but sometimes when people speak, do you listen to yourself speak? Because I feel like sometimes when these people talk, they don't really listen to themselves talk. This is money that is meant for something different. So if you want to gift a student, or you want to gift a school because you feel like they are doing well, you can use your personal salary to do that. That is you sacrificing what you have to encourage the student. Yes, so if maybe one day you see that child at a very high position, you tell yourself, well, my salary contributed to this. But you don't use a fund that is supposed to be used for something different, for something else. No. So for me, disbursing the money is not a problem. But then I feel like the Minister for Local Government can do more. There is a saying that who watches over the watchman. There should be strict monitoring and supervision. Are all the MMDAs doing what they are supposed to do? Are they using the money for its intended purposes? The vulnerable groups within the communities, within the districts, within the municipalities, are they getting what they're supposed to get? Are they getting what is due them? Is their money being slashed? Or at the end of the day, they get what they're supposed to get? If the government is releasing funds, and then each vulnerable group within this municipality, district, and this communities are supposed to get maybe 50% of that, do they get it? Or they get 25% instead of 50%? Those are the questions we should be asking ourselves. And we should also ensure that MMDAs that are not performing, they should be booted out. You are there to work, and so you're supposed to do your work as it is being mandated of you. I always say one thing, that you see, the government as we see it does not have 1,000 wings or 1,000 legs to be walking from one district to another, one municipality to another to work. And that is why the government as a body has its branches. And these branches are supposed to ensure that the right thing is being done. Because if the money is being disbursed and it's not being used for its intended purpose, when they come, these people will still give an excuse. Oh, I'm buying in the Senny scandal, but the money have been sent. So what did you use it for? And these vulnerable people will tend to point fingers at the government and not the assembly. Because the assembly will complain to them that the government did not disburse the money, but the money was being disbursed. So please, the right thing should be done. MMDAs should do better. Thank you for making time with me on the Grill.
Thank you so much for that, girl. And thank you too for joining us on the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the morning news shortly. And right after that, we'll be back. Please stick and stay with us.
Ghana Talks Radio, I wo UK abrochimemu era from Ghana mu ha the sound system which is spinning machine papa every amana ne aba begu oman Ghana mu ha. It is say we a year, we engagement, we wedding, we birthday party. Political parties are more rally, some way sorry more crusade. So we book carnival or any kind of event. Now we pay spinning machine papa a boa sound in the mu the dia any may come for GTR sounds at the amount. Your live band in so our tones at the frame ye beat me ababeboa ama ujumedia woody and so at me I come up. Yawa enkan pupuni mantemo anya aponchi hotel a hope pepe ena yebutu odi an se wo befre empanifo was 0546960510 GTR sounds emu de angaza.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up this morning, Cabinet approves Ghana Medical Equipment Service to fix hospital equipment maintenance gap. Kokwanyi Doho calls for national mindset curriculum to drive ethical values. In related news, Chief Justice Paul Bafo Boni calls for Ghanaian character reset. Also coming up in the news, Minister of Education orders the arrest of Bali teacher accused of sexual misconduct. We've got full details on these stories and many others coming up shortly. To our first story, President John Dramani Mahama has announced the establishment of Ghana Medical Equipment Services Limited to improve management and the use of medical equipment in public hospitals across the country by cabinet approval. Speaking during a media engagement, the president said the new state-owned company is part of government effort to address long-standing challenges in the health sector. The move forms part of broader health sector reforms aimed at improving healthcare delivery in the country.
And treatment. But we are also learning from something. When I was vice president to Professor Tamils, we spent about $250 million to retool all the major regional and teaching hospitals in this country, provided CT scans, MRIs, X-rays, and all the major equipment that was needed. A few years after that, we found out that most of that equipment was not properly maintained and had broken down, and the hospitals were calling on government again to do another retooling or replace the equipment. It is not a sustainable model. And so we've established a different model for this retooling that we're doing. And so Cabinet has approved the Ghana Medical Equipment Services Limited, which will be a subsidiary of the Ghana Medical Trust Fund. These will be specialized biomedical engineers who will oversee and supervise the use and maintenance of the equipment. And they will be the vehicle if the equipment is obsolete or is broken down beyond repair and has to be replaced. Is the Ghana Medical Equipment Services Limited that will be responsible and be the vehicle for replacing the equipment.
Former presidential staffer Samuel Kokwanyi Doho said the task of promoting and enforcing ethical values should not be given to politicians. Speaking at the 2026 Ethical Leadership Conference organized by the Globe Ethics in partnership with the All-African Conference of Churches, Anyidoho argued that national building requires collective effort from all functions. He called for the introduction of a national mindset transformation curriculum aimed at instilling ethical values from basic to tertiary level.
Leadership only means that there are some values that undergird our national psyche. That's all ethical leadership is about. It's about having certain value systems that we hold sacrosanct. First as individuals, as families, as groups, then as a nation. So it's at different levels. First of all, as an individual, what are the values that you hold on to? What family values do you hold on to? Then what church, school values do you hold on to? Then that moves to the national level. And of course, the nation itself has also had its own value systems. And that's what I was talking about in my submission. Our value systems are in the words of the anthem and the pledge. That's all. It's not in any Bible, it's not in any Quran, it's not in any religious doctrine. It is in the anthem and the pledge. We all recite it. We all sing it. Cherish fairness and honesty. Resist oppression's rule. Fearless honesty. I promise you my honor to be faithful and loyal to Ghana. But what we have done over the period is that we have left these words and limited them to what I call ceremonial deification. We deify the anthem, we deify God at ceremonies. When it's over, we forgot it. So the next level of building a national psyche, the mindset transformation for leadership development, which are now very much involved in, with the Mills Institute, which is mindset, integrity, loyalty, leadership, and service institute. You must have a certain mindset. Build integrity into the mindset. Be loyal to the integrity and the mindset. Then you now move to leadership level. Then when you are at the leadership level, now you serve. You serve God, country, before self. So that's where we need to get to. And then take the words of the anthem and the pledge. And then run a national mindset transformation curriculum around it. Both using the NCC, National Commission for Civic Education, and also be able to run.
In related news, Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni has called for a deeper introspection of Ghanaian character. According to him, laws and technical measures cannot address the country's pressing challenges. He stressed that corruption, environmental pollution, and galamsey persist due to the absence of ethical values.
For many years, we have discussed how to develop Ghana. We have debated policies, budgets, roads, ports, industries, and investments. All of these matter, yet development is never only an economic project. It is first a moral project. Recent events remind us of this truth. When drains are choked with refuse, when rivers are poisoned by illegal mining, when public trust is traded for private gain, the problem before us is not merely legal or technical. It is moral. The law may punish with such conduct after the fact, but only character prevents it from happening in the first place. As Chief Justice, I know the importance of the law, yet I also know its limits. Courts can determine rights. They can punish wrongdoing. They can uphold the Constitution. But no court can compel honesty. No judgment can create integrity. And no sentence can manufacture compassion. That work belongs to families, schools, traditional authorities, and indeed to churches such as yours.
The Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, has called on the Ghana Police Service to swiftly locate and arrest a teacher of Bali Senior High School accused of sexual misconduct. He urged the Ghana Police Service to treat the issue with urgency.
But your discipline must be progressive. and it must be one for which learners must pay for misconduct and teachers too must pay for misconduct. We've seen the example in Bali, unacceptable, shameful. So the police, we are watching you, and we are watching how you proceed with the investigation and how you go further to do the needful of prosecution to deter that unacceptable behavior and conduct of a teacher.
The proposed Women Development Bank will begin full operations before the end of 2026. Speaking in Parliament, the Minister of Finance said the bank is part of the government's commitment to promote financial inclusion. The institution will provide tailored financial product, low-interest loans, and business development support specifically targeted at women in trade, agriculture, manufacturing, and small-medium enterprises.
Paid 400 million Ghana cedis, being the capitalization amount, to an escrow account at the Bank of Ghana. And so the Bank of Ghana is now beginning the process to assess the bank so that they can grant license for its operationalization. And so be assured we will make sure that bank is operationalized by the end of the year, the latest. And so what we will now have to do is to put in place the management and the board of the bank. It's all part of the assessment that the central bank will require. So, ma'am, I'll be coming to you in the coming days to get the nominations.
When we talk about inclusive growth, we are serious about it. And it will include the people in the margins who, most of whom happen to be women at the bottom of the pyramid and who sometimes don't have the means to go to the established banks with their collateral and all these requirements, but who also need support anyway in building their small businesses, in taking care of their families, and in taking care of themselves. So we are very, very, very happy that we've come this far, even with our, is it 450? 400 million. Yeah, that is gone. We want to thank you for it. And we know that more is coming, as you do. Many more will be coming, our way.
In business, renewed tension between the United States and Iran after the collapse of peace efforts are keeping Ghana's fuel market on edge, with uncertainty in the Middle East continuing to threaten price stability, according to the CEO of COMAC, Dr. Rivasen Opon. The renewed confrontation between Washington and Tehran has revived fears over global oil supply disruptions. Markets remain volatile as investors watch for further military and diplomatic development, raising concerns about the outlook for crude oil prices and their impact on fuel importing countries. Dr. Pond said the latest setback in ceasefire effort was unsurprising, as uncertainty has become the defining feature of the conflict. He cautioned that the uncertainty continued to expose Ghana's downstream petroleum sector to significant risk as fuel prices swing sharply on the international market. According to him, the volatility affects the entire fuel supply chain, including oil marketing companies and the bulk distribution companies. Rising prices are generally easier for industry players to manage. He said the biggest challenge comes when companies import fuel at higher prices, only for international prices to decline before the product reach the market. The The Comac CEO noted that while hedging is often presented as a solution for managing price risk, it is not always practical for Ghana's retail fuel business. His comment comes as Ghana's petroleum industry closely monitors developments in the Middle East, where renewed US-Iran tension have added another layer of uncertainty to an already volatile global energy market. For Ghana, which imports refined petroleum products, prolonged instability could continue to influence fuel pricing, squeeze industry margins, and complicate planning for businesses across the downstream sector. Dr. Opon said until there is greater certainty over the geopolitical situation, fuel marketers will continue to operate in an environment where sudden price movement remains a constant risk. To sports, a disappointed Morocco said they had hoped to progress past the World Cup quarterfinals but had to accept the loss to a better team as France eliminated them 2-0 in Thursday's tie. Coach Mohamed said the side had still left a good image despite a laboured performance as they lost to France for a second successive tournament. Morocco played second fiddle to France almost from kick-off of the last 8 clash and hardly troubled the French goal. Morocco were semi-finalists 4 years ago in Qatar, where France also beat them. Morocco will co-host the next World Cup with Spain and Portugal in 2030. The coach refused to be drawn on whether he felt France would go on and win the World Cup, but continued his compliment. In showbiz, the Creative Art Agency has called on players in Ghana's creative and cultural industries to actively participate in the National General Cleaning Exercise scheduled today, July 10 and Saturday, July 11. In a statement signed by the Acting Executive Secretary of the Creative Art Agency, Gideon Aikwe, the agency expressed its full support for the government of Ghana's declaration of the 2 days as National General Cleaning Days under the auspices of the Post-Flood Mitigation Committee. The nationwide exercise themed Our Actions, Our Future, Cleaning Ghana After the Floods, seeks to mobilize citizens to restore the cleanliness of communities, promote environmental responsibility, and support efforts to address the impact of recent flooding across the country. The agency urged musicians, actors, filmmakers, visual art, fashion designers, writers, publishers, artisans, dancers, photographers, content creators, event organizers, creative entrepreneurs, and practitioners across the creative value chain to take their part in the initiative. According to the agency, the creative community has a significant role to play in influencing public behavior and promoting responsible citizenship. The agency said the participation in the exercise would demonstrate the industry's commitment not only to artistic excellence but also the nation building, environmental sustainability, and the well-being of Ghanaians. It also highlighted the increased interest posed by flooding and poor environmental sanitation, stressing the need of clean surroundings, well-maintained drainage systems, and responsible waste disposal, and safeguarding life, properties, and public health. The Creative Art Agency further encouraged creative associations, unions, institutions, production houses, creative businesses, and practitioners across all 16 regions to mobilize their members and work closely with metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies, traditional authorities, security agencies, and community organizations during the exercise. Reaffirming its commitment to national development, the agency urged creatives across the country to respond to the call with dedication, patriotism, and a strong spirit of volunteerism. On global update, a convoy carrying Malian soldiers and fighters from the Russian paramilitary African Corps came under attack in northern Mali on Thursday, 3 security sources and a spokesperson for an armed group revealed. One of the sources said the convoy was ferrying more than 200 Russian fighters and more than 100 Malian soldiers. A similar attack hit another military convoy headed north earlier this week. The same person said the Al-Qaeda affiliate Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimi and the Tuareg-led rebel group, the Azawad Liberation Front, staged attacks on army positions across Mali on Saturday, July 4. The convoy was heading towards the northern town of Anifes, where fighting has persisted since then when it came under fire early on Thursday. A spokesperson for the Azawad Liberation Front claimed responsibility for the attack. It is unclear whether Jenim was also involved. A spokesperson for Mali's military did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Niger, a neighbor and ally to Mali, provided air support during the fighting, the 3 sources said. Niger's military could not be reached for comment. The Zawad Liberation Front and Jenim teamed up for a coordinated high-profile operation in April that hit the airport in the capital Bamako and killed the defense minister. African Corps is backing Mali's military in a fight against insurgencies that have plagued the West African country since 2012. And that's a wrap on the morning news update. Thank you so much for making time with us. Do well to log on to all streaming platforms at GhanaTalks Radio for more news stories. I am Deborah Adolso. Do have a good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Wake up, Ghana. Your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring the fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Only on GhanaTalks Radio.
Good morning to you. This is the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is your morning companion, your favorite online radio station you can carry along wherever you go. Just know that we are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio TV, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. This is the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. I'm still the host, Ruth Esenam Fekbedu. And this morning, again, I took Miss Regina from breakfast. Go back.
Go back to your country.
Go back to your country. How are you?
I'm good.
We are in it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are here again. Here to serve the people. Here to feed the people. We are here to give the people breakfast. You know, why are we cleaning today? Aside the office, is there anywhere we will clean?
Yeah.
Where?
Outside.
Outside. The weeds there. You can weed, right? My father has cutlass.
I've never done it before.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So tomorrow those that will be as funerals, no, what will happen to them?
Funeral.
And tomorrow is Saturday, and Saturday they said it's sanitation day. So those that will be on funeral grounds, will they go and sack them?
How can they go and sack them?
I mean everybody is supposed to get involved.
I get it.
Everyone is supposed to get involved.
They had already scheduled their dates before this,
they
brought it.
Yeah,
so.
they actually have a valid reason. But do you think that this is actually going to make a difference? Because the rains there are more rains to come. We are in July.
It wouldn't make a difference if it's just a 9-day wonder.
Just 1 day.
But it will make a difference if it's something we incorporate in our daily activities. Cleaning every day is important to making sure that our gutters are not choked. And also when it comes to human behavior, the rate at which people deliberately dump garbage by the roadside, in the gutters, in flooding waters, I think it's really alarming. So it all boils down to if anything, behavior change and our perception, our mindset. And I think we are good to go. And to the governments, the little they can do is to make sure that they construct more effective and big and huge drainage systems. There are some looking at some roads by in some communities, when you see the road, you can tell that this road needs a big gutter besides it. But it's only the road there, and if the water doesn't or the flood doesn't find anywhere to pass, and you're quite never far. If I quite you are a quite so be say to and so a kafufu to the government. So they should do everything once and for all, rather than stop it.
Short-term solution. I know this is not the only country getting flooded. I learned India is flooded.
Yeah.
China is also flooded. Wow. So I think this year flooding but we shouldn't be like, oh, look at a well-developed country like China is flooding. How much more Ghana? So we should relax or even be reluctant to go out to go and clean. Well, it is what it is. Miss Debbie, do you see any change coming up after this cleanup exercise?
After the cleanup exercise, we still go back to our normal way of disposing.
Exactly.
It is we are cleaning the environment, but it is not an exercise to change our attitude or the way we think when it has to do with the disposal of refuse. So this exercise, a lot of people see it as a normal thing to do. It's just like you cleaning up the next day when you dispose of the refuse, you still go to that same spot and then you dispose of the refuse there. So we might do the cleanup, but if we don't enforce the law with aggressiveness and strictness, we are just wasting our time. So I feel like we should enforce the law. Whoever is being caught after this should be made to face the law. Even if it is 1 month, go in for 1 month with hard labor. When you are out, you will learn sense. If not, then I feel like it is just a waste of time. This is one of the normal things we used to see. This clean up exercise it's nothing new. It's something that we've been doing. So it should tell you that we've been doing this, using this same approach for a number of years now, and then we are not seeing any positive results. The results are still the same. So that should prompt us to change the way we tackle issues when it has to do with sanitation and how we dispose of refuse and how these people are being treated after they've been caught. So this exercise is normal exercise. After the exercise, we'll go back to our normal behavior unless the right thing is being done.
Well, we've seen governments deploying officers, other bodies. We've seen the fire service, we've seen other security services also coming out to make sure that they coordinate and also supervise the cleanup exercise. But what I'm calling for is that right after the cleanup exercise, these people should remain in the communities. If they grab you, they should lash you, and after lashing you, they should give you hard labor. They shouldn't take you to jail. Now they said community service bill has been passed, so that means that minor crimes, you'll be allowed to work in your neighborhood. It should start from now, right after the general cleaning, right after the cleanup exercise, both for today and God willing tomorrow. Right after that, the security personnel, these bodies, what are they sitting in the office doing? They should come out, they should be in the communities, they should disguise themselves and make sure that if they catch anybody, if word betides you, if you are being caught, they should deal with you drastically to serve as a deterrent to others, so they don't continue with our culture. And yesterday I saw a video of a maize seller who was roasting maize, and immediately it started drizzling, immediately it started raining. She collected the corn husks into the gutter. I was like, come on, even if you didn't go to school, you should know better that you are not supposed to dump it in the gutter. But this is where we are today, and this attitude or this behavior has actually continued because nobody has been used as a scapegoat. That is why it's still going on. And this morning too, I saw a video of one lady who has used pedestrians bus stop as a trouble.
You see,
like
what you are saying, I'm not interrupting,
but it's serious.
Before you, when you are going to Kaswa, you won't get to Kaswa. Makati just opposite the Akawe Hospital. They've erected a new bus stop for pedestrians. When they did that thing, no. A woman came to set a business and she's selling banku. Yes, banku with she's roasting wasn't a maize, and then she sells banku. Aside banku, she sells egg. And mama, I was like, what is this? So if it is raining right now, they should come and sit on top of the banku. Police from who will, but this is what they are supposed to do.
They are quiet. Meanwhile, it is wrong. You know what you're doing is wrong. But if they put you in your place, then you'll be like the government is bad. Meanwhile, what you're doing is wrong. So I think it's high time that we become very strict on these people to put a stop to this. Pedestrian road or bus stop should be for pedestrian, not for business. I saw the video, I was like, Uka benku we mami kwa mindi. Benku obia trim no obia shame. Mindi. Seriously, but you will see the drivers buying from here. Way. Oh, we should know better. Seriously. Well, let's look at some interesting news headlines before we delve into the second segment of the show. Government has reduced youth general unemployment, and this is from the Minister for Land, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashid Pupil. He says the government has made significant progress in tackling unemployment since assuming office in 2025. And according to him, the government's effort to create jobs are beginning to yield results, with both youth and general unemployment showing signs of decline. He said job creation remains a shared responsibility across government, with every ministry playing a role in expanding employment opportunity. The minister also praised the private sector for supporting the government's employment agenda, saying businesses have demonstrated a strong commitment to creating more jobs. Mr. Rashid People expressed confidence that the government's overall economic and employment policies are producing positive results. He further indicated that unemployment has declined compared to the period before the current administration took office. Dr. Rashid People maintained that the government will continue implementing policies aimed at expanding employment opportunities and supporting job creation across various sectors of the economy. And this is from the Minister for Labor, Jobs and Employment. That actually happens to be his office. And then he says that government has reduced youth general unemployment. It's like you're playing. Miss Debbie, do you have the numbers? Because the last I checked was about 43%
of unemployment.
Yes, of unemployment rate, and he's saying that it has reduced. Please, let me hear from you whilst Miss Regina check that for us, please.
Oh, okay. So, unemployment. Where did they gather their information from?
I wonder.
I think unemployment is only reduced on paper, not on grounds. And as I said, I wonder where they gather their info from. Do they just sit down and then guess? Okay, at the end of last month, government employed 1,000 people to this sector. Government employed 1,000 people to that sector. Now 1,000 plus 1,000 minus this plus that, multiplied by this. Okay, there's been a reduction in unemployment. Is that how they do their calculation? Because unemployment is still in existence. They've not been, for me, there've not been any reduction, because we still have people that are calling on government to employ them. We have nurses that are still in the house and they are waiting for employment. We have teachers that are still in the house and they are waiting for employment. So how is unemployment reduced? Maybe today unemployment is reduced because we have 50% of the youth now diverting their attention to entrepreneurship. And that is what he's saying. Then in a way I will agree with him, because 99% of the youth we have today are focusing on creating their own business and not relying on the government. If he's saying that, then it makes sense. But even with that, most of these entrepreneurs are graduates, okay, and they are in the house. So although they've established something for themselves, they still want to be employed, because if you don't get employed, then what is the essence of you going to school for 4 years? What is the essence of you paying fees for 4 years? It's just like you wasting your life for 4 years and then reaping nothing from what you sowed. So unemployment hasn't reduced. Unemployment is still in the system. So long as we have graduates who are complaining that they are unemployed and they are calling on the government day in, day out, it means that there are more to do when it has to do with employment. Although we've been hearing from government officials, ministers of state, claiming that they've opened portals for people to recruit people. Even recruitment in the Kremuno, there are instances where they come to tell us that 99% of these people are infected with HIV/AIDS. I don't know how true that is, but if that is the case, then it means that these people are not going to get employment. So it means they have to divert their attention towards other sectors, and that is why some particular sectors or institutions in this country are very choked. Example is the health sector. Example is the teaching sector. These sectors are choked because if growing up you want to be a lawyer, growing up if you want to be a military officer, or growing up you want to be a pilot or something, but then you realize that all these sectors are whom you know protocol, you are being forced to divert your career into being a nurse or being a teacher. And now being a teacher and a nurse doesn't guarantee a hand-on job when you are done. You need to struggle. So unemployment is still in existence. As for this one, dear, Mr. Pelpo, I don't agree with you. I don't.
Yes, if you know, do you have the numbers?
So it says here, as I need an input. It says here that according to Ghana Statistical Service, Ghana's national unemployment rate is 13%. 13%. It says overall unemployment 13%. Youth unemployment ages between 15 to 24 is around 32%, and youth unemployment ages 15 to 35 is around 22 to 23%. But overall, it's 13%. That is what they are saying.
Yeah, and Kojo Oponkom also gave a report and said that unemployment rating in Accra alone is about 43%. Are we making progress?
When it comes to unemployment issues, I don't think we are making progress, honestly. We have a very long way to go. And I think the main reason why most of these youth are reluctant is because they have the notion that, it's the duty of the Abain to provide jobs, to build institutions where at the end of the day they'll be able to employ more youth. We have some industries that's day to day and they are still working. Looking at that sector, I would say that the unemployment issue there is not really much, because a lot of people are being employed each and every day, and there are a lot of people who are quitting their jobs each and every day. So see, when you want to wait on the government, then it means that you are not ready in life. When you want to wait on the government, it means you are not ready in life. You would have to go out there to hustle for yourself. You shouldn't wait on the government. It's just like you stay with your parents. At the end of the day, they've taken care of you from crane to crane. Now you've graduated, they are still living in the house, they are feeding you, and you are still waiting for them to come and give you a job. No. It will get to a point where you yourself, you'll be fed up. You yourself, you'll be disappointed. And sometimes, see, our parents wouldn't talk, but their attitude alone, sometimes the kind of eye they'll give you when they go to work and come back and you're home, the kind of eye they'll give you will tell you, say, oh, go and find something doing yourself. So I feel like, in as much as it's the duty or mandate of the government to create jobs, you should also start creating something for yourselves. Now we have a lot of lucrative businesses. You can venture into fashion, you can venture into art, you can venture into shoemaking, you can venture into dressmaking, hairdressing. A lot. We have a lot. Because mind you, every day obi ye bibi. Fashion say every day obi person shatari. Every day obi person boniti. Every day obi person ochampa bafufu. So I think you'd have to do something for yourself. Help yourself first before the government will help you. So let's say you're a nurse, you completed school, and up to now you've not been called. Find something doing. So that it should be like a side hustle. So if you don't even get it, you know, so, oh, this is what I'm relying on. But if you are just there doing nothing, and even at the end of the day, if the government calls you, go back to working, you can balance these two jobs. You'll be taking from here, you'll be taking from here. Now, looking at the economy, you're not supposed to be taking one income. You should have a lot, in fact, chains of income.
Multiple.
I know of someone who has about 32 chains of income. And just imagine that person doesn't know anything called broke. Doesn't know anything called broke, because day in and day out, so the government should also step up in the reduction of unemployment. The youth are the backbone of the economy, and they really need to do something about it.
They really need to do something. But do you think that the private sector is doing enough?
The private sector is doing enough. They are doing way better. This is a private sector.
Of course.
See the amount of people here. The guest house here is a private sector. See the people there. When we My mind is not even there. When you go to your friend is Uko Kroma, the number of private sectors is more than government institutions, and these private sectors have employed a lot of people. Let's use this Chinatown, China malls for example. There are a lot in this country, and they've employed a lot of people. And this Lebanese restaurant, see, my dear, the private sector, they've really done well. They've really done well, and they need to be applauded.
Right, Ms. Debbie, do you think what long-term solution do you think the governments can put in place to reduce it, maybe to a single digit or something, maybe to 5 or 4?
Yeah, the simple long-term goal for me here is to create more jobs and employ the people.
Is the 24-hour economy going to
I'm not seeing what
make any change?
I'm not seeing the 24-hour economy they are talking about. I'm not seeing anything. No, I'm not seeing anything because the 24-hour market, I thought by now all that market will be completed.
They are now demolishing and coming to build. So that should tell you that.
The finance minister said by the end of this month they will even construct the Women Development Bank, and I was asking myself,
are they going to use an old bank?
For that I can't tell. They are here to brief us on that. So the 24-hour economy, sincerely speaking, Mr. President and your appointees, you don't know whether you are cooking something behind the scene. If you are still cooking, then because I don't so there. So the right thing should be done. As I said, we need to create more jobs and employ the people. If we cannot collaborate with the private institution, just like Regina said, if you come to Ghana, 99% of the people employed are working for the private sector and not for the government. The ones working for the government sector are only a few, and the government sector is solely characterized on some sectors like, say, the health, the teaching, maybe an institute, government office institutions, say maybe ministries and other institutions where you see government employing people. And even that, we have people that are 90 years and they are still working. They are refusing to go on retirement. And then we have fresh blood that are graduating from school each and every year. These people are stuck in the house and they are not getting employment. And then you go to an office, a government institution, 90 plus old man, still there all year day. What are you doing? So right now, what are you telling the youth? You are telling them to go and steal. Because if I should complete school, going to school for 4 years is not that easy. You've humbled yourself through this 4 years and you're not getting work to do. And then someone will sit somewhere and then open his mouth to tell you that you're lazy because they walk from Kaswa to Volta region to make money. Whereas when you go to check in, it is not even genuine money. And the same people that are refusing to give out the chance to the young people will call you a lazy youth. But they are refusing to do the right thing. So we need to create more jobs. See, in as much as we send our people outside the country to work, it's not bad. But sometimes I feel shy on behalf of the government for doing that. I feel shy. We can have enough work to even bring in people to work for us. There's a resource, human resource, that you are letting out for other countries, and they are making good use of our people. And then when you come in here, sometimes we need a specialist. If we go to the hospitals, we don't really have specialists, but we have specialist doctors that are trained and they are graduating each and every year. But they don't get employed. Then we export these people to other countries and they become useful to that country. And then we are suffering. When you go to the hospital and that specialist is not there, what they will do is that they give you transfer. If you have the money, travel abroad for treatment. So the right thing needs to be done. Yeah, I will always say this: the government has no right to tell us, "Hey, Jumani, it is your responsibility to create the jobs and employ the people."
So it's the responsibility of the government to create jobs and employ the people. But one advice I'll give to every youth out there is that do not wait for the government to come and be giving you a job. Because when you're hungry, it's not a government that will come and give you money to go and buy food. You need to be aggressive, very, very aggressive and desperate for job, to the extent that you can look at your vicinity or in your community and find out what is actually the gap in this community, what is actually the problem this community is facing. You create a business out of it with a solution. You look at your community and you find out that, oh, when people actually want to buy, let's say, groceries, it's difficult. They have to walk all the way to the junction to go and get some. You can start with a showcase and a small store. You buy the things in it and then you are good to go. People begin to buy from you and that is it. And who knows, you can turn it into a small shopping mall in your area, and then that's it. You make money for yourself. It's not always that you'll be waiting on the government to come and give you corporate job. The corporate job, you have to wait for 30 days to make money, and within 7 days the money you've waited for 30 days is finished. So it's hard. And looking at the economy too, now most of the corporate workers are getting into entrepreneurship and getting into business as a fallback or as a follow-on for their corporate work. So that should tell you that, Charlie, you for Deji. Let's move on to our next news item. GJA raises alarm over growing use of lawsuits to intimidate journalists. The Ghana Journalists Association has expressed concern over what it describes as the growing use of lawsuits to intimidate journalists and media organizations, warning that the trend poses a threat to press freedom and public interest journalism. The concern follows the case of Larry Alans Dogbe, editor of the Herald newspaper, who was sentenced to 7 days in prison for contempt of court. Alans Dogbe, the second defendant in a civil suit brought by businessman Kevin Autry and Springfield Exploration and Production Limited, was convicted by the General Jurisdiction Division of the High Court in Accra on June 25, 2026. Justice Isaac Addo found him guilty of contempt for breaching an injunction and ordered his immediate imprisonment. Addressing a press conference in Accra on Thursday, July 9th, GJA President Albert Kwabena Jumfor acknowledged that individuals have the right to seek legal redress to protect their reputations, but cautioned against using the court to suppress critical journalism. Mr. Jumfor, however, stressed that there is a clear distinction between legitimate legal action and the misuse of litigation to intimidate journalists. According to him, strategic lawsuits against public participation are increasingly being used around the world to discourage investigative and public interest journalism. He explained that such lawsuits often target reporting on corruption, government failures, procurement irregularities, abuse of office, environmental crimes, land disputes, and financial misconduct. Mr. Dumfor warned that Ghana was beginning to witness signs of the trend, with journalists and media houses increasingly facing lawsuits demanding substantial damages and prolonged legal battles. He described the case involving Mr. Alan Stogbe as a worrying example of the broader menace of slaps and chilling effects such proceedings can have on journalism. The GJA reiterated its commitment to defending press freedom while urging journalists to continue upholding the highest standards of accuracy, fairness, and ethical reporting. And what Mr. Albert is saying is that, according to say, they are using the courts to intimidate journalists and suppress their freedom of expression. They say a journalist force say I'm too much. Now media houses are, taking it up upon themselves to provide investigative reports on certain irregularities. Now it's not a court that is looking at those things, so now it's the media houses. We were here some time back when we heard that one of the media houses conducted a report on Galamsey. the big push, irregularity, and the alleged source sourcing whole Buhara was brought to light by a media house, and certain procurement irregularities were all brought out by media houses, investigative reporting. And then when it happens like that, the pioneers of these institutions or these entities want to intimidate journalists with lawsuits. I'll sue you, I'll sue you, I'll sue you. Then you keep quiet because you don't really have enough evidence or fact to back what you're actually saying. So this is what the president of GJ is saying, that Munjaisa, you should allow the journalists to work and allow press freedom whilst journalists continue to uphold highest standard of accuracy, fairness, and ethical reporting. And one thing I also urge journalists is that there are ethics backing every field or every work. Before you go out for reporting, you just do not put the camera on the interviewee or on the interviewee. You just don't do that. You have to ask for permission before you do. If you need information, now there's right to information. You can just apply for it and then you have it. But you use illegal means and forceful means, and when the person behind that catch you, the only thing they can actually do is to sue you because you are trying to ruin their reputation. There are ethics in every profession, so make sure that you report accordingly. Ms. Debbie.
So I don't see the court intimidating journalists to do their work. The law will only come after you when you don't do the right thing. So in the case of Mr. He is Larry Dogbe, he is the lead for the new Herald newspaper.
Yes.
So in his case, imagine there is an issue between Regina and I, and then I went to see Regina in court, and then you want to write a news pertaining that. You don't just seek only my consent without seeking that of Regina's consent, and then you go to publish the news. So it means you have sat down and then you've drawn in your mind how Regina is thinking, and then you conclude on that. No, as a professional journalist, what you're supposed to do is that you take my part of the story, you take Regina's part of the story, you sit down and then you write it, and then you leave it to the audience to judge whether I'm right or Regina is right. You leave them to judge.
You just have to be objective, but
yes,
not
you don't just take
it.
my part of the story and then you publish. Sometimes you read some news published by some media houses and they've already concluded on the issue.
Yeah.
So what is that? So for me, the law will come for you. The law is not interfering with our work. If you are doing the right thing, the law is there. The law will not come and bite you. But if you don't do the right thing, that is when the law will come for you. Imagine the lead producer for Herald did the right thing. I'm not sure the other party will sue him in court. But because he also feel like, no, you didn't take my part of the story, I have the right to sue you in court. Because whatever you are saying is false. So in a way, you are giving the person the chance to degrade your work and also tell you that you are being biased, and in a way you've taken money from the other party to make it look as if he is fair and the other party is wrong. So for me, the law is not interjecting or interfering in our work. If you do the right thing, the law will not come after you. But if you don't do the right thing, the law will definitely come after you. So we need to be very, very careful as journalists. This thing of we being the first to publish a news, we being the first to put a video out there, we need to be very, very careful, because you might do that and then the company will disassociate itself from whatever you posted, and you're going to face the law alone. The company can decide to pretend as if they don't know you. You've not even worked in that company before. And now, Betty, So for me, the law is not interfering with our work. It's just that some journalists do not really know what they are about.
Yeah. Now, Obia, sorry, I'll say you're a journalist. Obia, sorry, I'll say you're a journalist.
Yes.
Oko AI, all this shame, do it. I say I'm a broadcaster, I'm a journalist.
No setting, no nothing. 1 week,
training. Oh, yeah. Miss Regina.
So journalists are the mouthpiece of the people. They are the voice for the voiceless. But it's becoming to seem as if we need voices. We need other people to voice out for us. Because the rate at which journalists are being attacked these days is quite alarming. And I think a financial fee so the example Debbie cited in regards to Herald's newspaper issue, the editor, in a way he was being, should I say, biased. He had already concluded without seeking the other opponent's view of the issue, and even if it was me, I would sue you. That one day, I'll sue you. I believe that whatever story you are talking about, if you have your facts, you have your evidence, you are very sure. Someone claiming that, I'll sue you, shouldn't really scare you. Because you know that you have your evidence. When you go to court, you can back it up. Not just with, they said, but I said, I saw it, I know. And at the end of the day, you'll be left to go scot-free. So to the journalists, now we have a lot of journalists in the original journalists.
Yeah.
Now everyone is a journalist. So far as our Wakoto tripod, Wakoto iPhone 17, Wakoto microphones. Now program biaba. Okwa said dear, a friend who's a journalist. You see our communicators need be imposed on me a journalist. I know they're young one. Now the issue is, how do we pick up the bad nuts out of all these people? When they do that, they also become a threat to us, because everyone will make it seem as if all journalists are the same. When it comes to journalists, they don't even cross-check their facts and they just post it like that. And now I would also blame some of these traditional medias, because an issue popped up with Party and one media house came out and he has been granted interview. Hey, visa.
Yeah.
He has been granted visa. But now you see, sometimes the eagerness to be the first media house to publish a news is also part of it.
Quality over quantity.
You see,
quantity over quality.
So it's not only about the quantity, it's about the quality. So we go to Adrian and na komedo. Na no the quantity no na be main one. To quantity no nedi. But here lies the case, will be a one main. There's no way that person will choose quantity over quality. Yeah. That person will choose quality, but will be a comedy in 3 days on the day. Oh, quantity no to obey D. But we should be very careful as journalists. See, if you meet some people like us, and you don't know, you know that you don't have capital, you don't have 100 million in your account, you be very careful with what you say.
I'll use it to make money.
You'll be very careful.
You will be my chain of income.
Exactly.
You will be my chain of income. There's a Nigerian lady. Oh, I've forgotten her name. There's a Nigerian lady. She sued. Is it Google? Yeah, she sued Google.
Hey.
Yes.
For what?
Because they published a false information about her. Naska we dino. Oh, I'll get it for you. I've forgotten her name. She's a fair lady in the Nigerian movie industry. Really? Oh yeah, yeah. I read on her story, and she sued them. She's been pursuing this case for quite some time now, and then she urged Google to make sure that they take that publication off, of which they have. So please, protect your reputation, right? Protect your reputation. And just as Miss Regina said that quantity over quality. Sometimes the headline alone, you're so interested, the way they put the headline out there, oh, it's going to be very interesting, you go and read it, oh, it's not even matching with the headline. And I'm like, oh, you people too.
Because of views.
Because you're in a hurry to get a new story out there for, to get attraction and also the views. So you don't even prioritize the credibility of what you're putting out there. So please, journalists, let's report ethically. Share your opinions objectively, but don't be judgmental about it. And I think when it comes to criminal cases, we should know the words we use. Suspected, allege. If you don't use these words properly,
allege in a crowd place, when you allege, you can still be
yes.
The issue is the reason they sue these people who use allege is because when you use allege and they ask you that who said it and you are not able to provide it, then it is not alleged. Then it is you are the one saying, because as it stands now, you are the first person they are hearing it from, since you haven't been able to provide a video. And I think that was what happened to one NPP gentleman, where he said that they are using the scholarship fund to scam Ghanaians, and he said allege, and they were like, okay, if you are saying allege, provide us with a video or the news article or the reporting that says that the scholarship fund is being used to scam people, and he was not able to provide it, so he was fined. So when you're using allege, make sure that whatever you want to say, you at least have something there that when they ask you that where did you see it or where did you hear it from, you can pull that out. Because if you're not able to pull that out, that means that you are the first person they are hearing it from, so they'll pick you up. So you know what to do. Right, let's proceed, Miss Regina, smile.
Let's proceed where?
Let's proceed. So this is from a teacher petitions Supreme Court over Mohammed's third term eligibility. A Ghanaian citizen has filed a writ at the Supreme Court in Accra seeking a declaration that a person who has served two separate non-consecutive terms as president remains eligible to contest the presidency again. The suit was filed on July 9, 2026 by Al Hassan, a teacher from Kwandai in Northern Region, against the Attorney General. It was lodged by the solicitor, Kwesi Efrifa Esquire, of O&A Legal Consult in Kumasi, and is dated June 26, 2026. At the heart of the case is Article 66, Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution, which states that a person shall not be elected to hold the office of the president for more than 2 terms. Al Hassan's writ argues that this provision, properly interpreted, only bars someone from serving 2 consecutive terms and does not disqualify a person who has served 2 separate and distinct non-consecutive terms from contesting the presidency again. The plaintiff is asking the court to declare that any attempt to prevent such a person from contesting the presidency would be inconsistent with and in contravention of the Constitution, bringing the action in his capacity as a citizen under the Constitution's enforcement provision. Al Hassan's statement of case draws on the peripheral and several constitutional articles, including those on presidential succession, where a vice president completes an unexpired term. His lawyers argue that because the Constitution does not treat a partial or interrupted term as an automatic bar to serving 2 full terms, this slows the 2-term limit was not intended to be an absolute lifetime cap for someone whose service was similarly non-continuous. The 34-page filing marshals an extensive array of precedents, including the landmark cases Tumfor versus Attorney General, New Patriotic Party versus Attorney General, Sam versus Attorney General, and Nate versus Attorney General, all alongside citation from Black's Law Dictionary and appeals to what the filing described as the letter and spirit of the Constitution as a living document meant to be interpreted broadly rather than strictly. The writ commands the Attorney General to file a statement of defense within 14 days of service. No writ number had yet been assigned at the time of filing, and the matter is now before the Supreme Court of Ghana for determination. President John Dramani Mahama, who is serving a second term separated by former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's 8-year tenure, has on several occasions stated that he has no intention of amending the Constitution to seek a third term in office. In August 2025, President Mahama reiterated in Singapore that he had no plans to pursue a third term as a president. To say Obia sorry to me petition. Obia sorry petition. They call Supreme Court. Where's the petition?
It's not all petitions.
That is petition. Miss Debbie. The Krakwana saying.
Not all petition that are petitioning.
Of course.
A lot of people are scared. The fact that President Mahama doesn't want to go for third term and also spearheading the shall I say spearheading the law to know spearheading the no, should I say spearheading the rule to ensure that the Constitution is being changed?
The amendments of the Constitution.
Yes, so that any government that comes on board, instead of you spending like four terms, you are going to spend 5 terms.
Yeah.
People are scared because they feel like it will begin from him. He said he doesn't want to go, but this is the same person that is saying that we need to change the Constitution because any government that comes on board needs the ample time to materialize his vision. Now, Regina and I went out last week. We spoke to some people, and then one man said, Mahama, he didn't really specify, but then he said for him, in his own thinking, he wants the term of president should be extended to 20 years. And then in the comment section, someone said, what if we get someone like Akufo-Addo? I'm not the one saying this, so this is someone giving a candid opinion. That what if we get, so let me not just use any government, but what if we get a government or a presidential leader that is wicked, that doesn't have the people at heart, and then you're supposed to lead for 20 years? It means that the citizens, we are doomed. We cannot boot you out of office because your term, you have not exceeded your period in sorry, you've not exceeded your period in government. So the more reason why this person petitioned the Supreme Court is because they are scared that President Mahama will run again. But the thing is, President Mahama will set a goal or will set a target if the rule is changed, but then it didn't start from him.
Yeah.
But it will start from incoming successors that will succeed him. Then it means that he has really left behind a good legacy. Because he said he doesn't have the notion or the intention of running again. But when that happens, it means he's going back on his word. So definitely people will petition. I'm even waiting for the minority. I know definitely there is also a press conference that is cooking, and I will get to hear of them very soon. But for me, 4 years is enough for any government at all that is serious. 4 years is enough to complete or fulfill your promise to the people. And that is why it is very important that whatever policy you are bringing on board, you are supposed to complete it within that 4-year term. It is because they bring policies that are way beyond them, and so they see it that a 4-year term is not enough. They need more term. You will be surprised that we'll give these people additional 5 years and they'll tell us that it's not enough, so we should extend it. So for me, 4 years is enough for any serious government. That is why we are telling you that when you are coming up with your manifesto or policies, make promises that you know you can fulfill within 4-year term. Don't bring up policies that are beyond you. Policies that you know that in a pace of 4 years you cannot complete. We are talking about 24-hour economy. We've not seen it. Women development bank, they are yet to build it, and we have 1 year. Let's be sincere to ourselves. Are we sure this government can build the 24-hour market they are talking about in all the districts, in all the municipality within a pace of 1 year? Let's be sincere to ourselves. So for me, 4 years enough for any serious government at all to complete their policies.
Yeah.
Don't just make things difficult for yourself. Bring out policies you can complete in 4-year term.
Even if they make a 5-year term, they are going to how do I say it? They are going to strategize or do their calendar in a way that they will still have some lapses or some days that they will be off day, they will not work. So me, that 1 year, additional year that they are coming to add to the 4-year there, it will not change anything. If you man obey and obey, this is Gina.
4 years. I think 4 years is enough. It's okay. Just as Ms. Debbie said, when we went out, one man was like, President Linton, that's with 20 years.
Mama should be honest.
Like any president that comes, and I was just
also said same.
I was just imagining what we went through.
Sure.
Imagine it was 20 years. We could have killed a lot. Looking at these African countries, it's only a few that do 4 years. It's only a few.
Yeah.
Most of them 5 years. Most of them they dictate for these citizens.
Yeah, so they are tired of you.
Exactly. Most of these leaders are so weak and fragile. Some are even leaning on walking sticks. Some of these leaders, they are supposed to be supported by bodyguards before they can sit. I saw one African president in a parade, just like probably sit match. National anthem. This man was pissing on himself. I was like, what is this? Go and sleep. Leave the leadership positions to the young ones coming up. So what do they mean by future leaders? How do they understand it? Future leaders give them that baton. Let them run it themselves. Let them start from now. But you will be in power, son. See, enibro and corruption, greediness. That is all. Most of these African leaders are not thinking of the improvement or impuntunjumana because that's country. That is not what they are thinking of. They are thinking of ahia beko omubotom. Ghana, no president should have 5 years. The 4 years is enough. We've seen 4 years. We've seen when people went to 2 terms. We've seen when people, I think Mahama has even been on like 3 times. So during Atamil's time when he died.
Then he continued.
And
so this is his second term.
They voted him out.
Yes.
Then Akufo-Addo came there, now he's back.
So two terms.
So auntie, first one Oba and Otwaso.
The first one he came
when Atamos died. Yes. And then Atamos.
Yes.
When Atamos died.
He was almost done with the
but still crying.
So there was election and Mahama won. That was his first term.
And 2.5. Why 2.5?
So now he's back for his last term. So that's it.
We don't. The 4 years is enough.
The 4 years is enough.
It's enough.
It's enough.
Else when we do that, we would one day get a leader who is very notorious, so a tyrant leader, and we would suffer the consequences. So just imagine they make it 5 years, 10 years. You would have to endure the excesses of this person's till another 10 years or to another 5 years. One woman made a suggestion that within the period of that 4 years term, since they are doing 4 years or 3 years, 4 years.
4.
So she said that within a period of that 4 years, there should be in between election. You get it? You remember the woman in between elections? I said Mahama was sweet. So ocha 2 years. You are not a vote. You are penana say yempeno.
For appointees,
exactly.
Appointees that are performing and those underperforming.
Yeah. So I engaged in a conversation with one of the guests on the show, and then he said that they should take the term limit even off at all. You should be on it. If you are doing well, they'll still, vote for you to continue. If you are not doing well, you are gone.
Go. Simple.
So if you are doing well, after the 8 years, if you are still doing well, people will still vote for you. Continue working. It shouldn't be strictly or restricted that you should have just 2 terms, which is 8 years. So that was what he mentioned. I think that one too, no bad. That one too is also good. If you have a very good leader who you see that is doing well, but has to go because the constitution says that only 2 terms. Let's proceed. The Swiss ambassador is saying something. Let's hear from her. Ghana's presidency too powerful. Constitutional review must fix it. Outgoing Swiss ambassador. We always get to hear of these ambassadors when they are outgoing. Outgoing Swiss ambassador to Ghana, Benin and Togo, has called for Ghana's ongoing constitutional review to reduce the concentration of power in the presidency, arguing that stronger checks and balances are needed to deepen the country's democracy. According to her, while Ghana's 1992 constitution has served the country well by overseeing its transition from the military rule to constitutional democracy, the time has come to reform aspects of it to reflect the country's democratic maturity. She praised Ghana's democratic record, describing it as peaceful transfers of powers as a model for the continent. She noted that Switzerland supports Ghana's constitutional review process because it presents an opportunity to strengthen democratic governance. The outgoing ambassador, however, argued that Ghana's governance structure remains overly centralized with extensive powers vested in the presidency. It was a brilliant constitution for the time of the day, but it was also a transitional constitution. You have so many powers vested in the president. It's very centralized. Everything is in Accra. The ambassador said the next phase of Ghana's democratic development should focus on devolving power and strengthening independent institutions. Drawing on Switzerland's governance model, she said dispersing power across institutions helps strengthen democracy and accountability. She was quick to note that Ghana should not simply replicate another country's constitutional model, but rather develop reforms suited to its own circumstances. When asked whether she supported proposals to decentralize power through the constitutional review process, the ambassador replied, 100%, 100%. She expressed confidence that a successful constitutional review would significantly strengthen Ghana's democracy. I am 100% sure that if you get this right now, then Ghana will be a different country. Do you think that there's too much power vested in the president?
He has a lot of power.
He has a lot of powers. So the Constitutional Review Committee should make sure that he disperses some of the powers to other institutions. Because as it stands, I think he has the final say. especially when it comes to our security agencies. Yes, he's the first commander in chief
of the armed forces.
If you say, hey, you should say, well, they'll all comply.
Our president
will not do that.
What do you think?
Wine. Wine. Yeah, what a foul. You start saying wine.
I beg.
Yeah, be like, I was not here.
I don't know Regina.
I don't know you. I hosted a show, but that particular
I mean, if it's someone. Like
and who is that someone?
Any bad president that has bad intention for the people.
Who is yet to come or has come already?
Who is yet to come?
Oh, yet to come.
Oh, you people don't do that. You are putting him in the bottle.
You are so brilliant.
First, we've put you inside already.
Like, unlike some president, I say, I am from Monsarum Chairman.
Oh, Siciano, when they are saying me.
Me say, I am from Monsarum Chairman. Miss Gina,
yes.
Your thoughts on this?
So, in other words, are they talking about decentralizing the president's power? It can't be decentralized. That is why he's the boss, the gentleman of the gentleman of the land, and I think he needs that power. In times, in difficult times, we need a brilliant president who, in a way, can maneuver his ways through stressful and difficult times. Just like yesterday when we talked about the contingency fund.
Yes.
He gave the order, go and withdraw this money.
Does that mean that the president breached the court order?
And the president in a breach.
And yeah,
attorney general. So in times like this, we need the president. See, the power, we can't decentralize it. It's all about having a smart and intelligent leader. A leader who will not abuse the power given to him. We've seen in other countries where these presidents, they abuse the power. And mind you, the power given to you was not given to you by the parliamentarians. That power was given to you by the citizens of that country. Our neighbor Nigeria, they are going through it. Tinubu, if Tinubu doesn't take care, they will omube funadie. So in fact,
Peter Obi said his life is being threatened.
During their elections between Peter Obi and Tinubu, I was so much interested in Peter Obi winning because he's young, he has the vision. In fact, they need new faces, but corruption is everywhere. Corruption is everywhere, and Nigerians are really facing it. Looking at what they are going through there. The kidnapping issues, the killing issues, the raping issues. In fact, it looks like he doesn't exist in Nigeria.
Oh, come on.
I saw a video where they went for campaigning and these people took draws, like branded pants, and they've branded it. So let's say MPP, and a pants number they call MPP was so.
Oh.
And number they kochiche. Is that what the people need at that time? Yeah, because in Nigeria, they don't have past. When you do your research, they can stay in that lighthouse for like a month.
Yeah.
No munya light here. Ghana ha. Sure. Oh, that fion that they are doing, we are already bashing them. See, we need competent leaders. It is high time we sack certain leaders out of power and out of our lives forever and ever.
Amen.
The youth are the youth. They are vibrant. They are energetic. Just imagine Ghanaians are Nigerians. Just imagine. The president will not have peace. It looks like these Nigerians, the youth of today, they are calm. They are calm because if they don't take care and they go out and protest, these same leaders would send these armed men to fight them and kill them. They had a protest about end SARS. See the number of people that died. A whole sitting president. we are blessed to have a country like Ghana, honestly, and we are blessed. Oh yes, see,
today
peace is not.
But you wish you jackpot.
Peace is cheap, but very expensive.
Yes,
very expensive. I was just imagining the things going on in Nigeria if those things were happening in Ghana. Even the little happening here, I said that yeah, boy. Now what is there? I saw a video yesterday on TikTok where the person was Chinimoto wa bush mu, and he was going sideways, and he was like, if this was Nigeria, you would hear hello, send 10,000 million, send 10,000. I was like, and it's true, because that place is bush, and that is where they've taken all the captives there.
Yeah. So
we are blessed to have a country like Ghana, and we are blessed to have our leaders also, but our leaders themselves, question mark ni na mama pim. So to the leaders and to President Mahama, they should hold the power very well. They should utilize it very well so that we wouldn't regret giving or handing that baton to them.
Ms. Debbie, briefly.
Yeah, so we have the arms of government, and the president falls under the executive. Now, I think we've all learned about checks and balances.
Yeah.
Within this arms of government, the executive, the legislature, the judiciary, there needs to be balance and checks. One is not supposed to have more power than the other, and one is not supposed to intrude in the affairs of the other. But when you take the executive has more power than the rest of the arms of government. So the president, his cabinet, they have more power than the legislative, which is the members of parliament, the judiciary, which is the courts that we have. And that is why more times you hear people saying that the affairs of the court is being intruded, the affairs of the other government is being intruded. So the best we can do is to change the constitution, to rip the executive off its powers. We are not saying we are taking off everything, but if the government is having 99, we give the government 40, and the rest 50 is being shared among the other arms of government as well, because we are talking about a democratic country and a country that is free from politicization. Now why then must executive appoint someone into the judiciary, the chief of staff? I don't know, the CJ is being appointed by the executive, attorney general is being appointed by executive. So when it happens like that, why won't your activities be interfered? And that is why I don't really find it new when an arm of government says that the affairs is being intruded by the executive, because the executive appoints you. Whatever I tell you is what you're supposed to do. So the ambassador living Ghana has really, she has been here for quite some time now.
Yeah.
So I think this is what she has saw, and we should work towards it. The executive has more power, and the power is too much. There is supposed to be a check and balance between all arms of government. One arm is not supposed to have more power than the other arms of government.
Right. Oh, my ladies, God bless you so much. Thank you so much. Producer, make sure that you give them a cup of coffee. My ladies, thank you so much for joining me. My guest is in. Briefly, we'll take this break briefly and then we'll be back. Please stay and stay with us.
Wake up, Ghana, your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring the fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks breakfast show. Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks breakfast show. GhanaTalks breakfast show.
This
Only
is
on
Ghana Talks
Radio.
Breakfast Show,
Turn
your
it up
morning
and stay
companion.
tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. When you see cause on there, where the spark inside the flame, from the first light to the last mile, stay with us a while.
This is still the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion. You're welcome back from that brief break. This is still the Ghana Talks Radio. We are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio TV, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Do all to log on, send in the comments, and let's get interactive right here on the morning show. Today is National Sanitation or National Cleanup Day. Yeah, I believe you are already on the field. Whilst you're on the field, just log on to social media. Put in your earpiece or your earpods. Just put your phone in your pocket. You keep listening to me whilst you are working. Yes. Don't use that as an excuse that you will not go out and go and clean your community or clean your offices, because right after here, I'm also going to work. Right. We have right in the studios with us Honorable Daniel Kwabena Ampon, the aspiring Vice Chairman of Amasamine and also the NDC Communications team member. Good morning to you, Mr. Ampon.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
For one or two reasons, I thought you were kidnapped.
No,
or you
I will
lost
come.
your way.
I will come, but because of the exercise, you won't get even a taxi to come.
Oh,
in town,
really?
so that, yes. And people are working.
People are working?
So, yeah, people
it's
are
encouraging.
That one, yeah.
You say it's
Yeah,
encouraging.
I've seen it this morning.
Right.
So
We are getting straight into it.
yeah, okay.
This morning, we are going to discuss about the general cleanup exercise, which is actually beginning today and also ends tomorrow. So today, ministers, chief executive officers, and leaders in businesses and also offices today, they are all going to be involved in the cleanup exercise. And then due to that, Parliament is actually not sitting today. Some shops have actually been closed. There's been a directive that all shops should be closed today. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow as well.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow as well. Shops are also going to close. Make sure that everybody is involved. And then hearing from the Vice President just this morning, she says that it's a shared responsibility. One person cannot do it alone. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. We all come together. We together results we are all looking for. So this morning, I'm going to be delving into these issues with Mr. Ampon. Let's see, is this actually the way forward? Is the short-term solution going to help? Is it going to create a difference? That is what we are going to be looking at this morning. Mr. Ampon, let's get into it.
See,
The
flooding
cleanup, right after
flooding itself is something that is the most devastating, something that normally every year it happens, if you can recall. For now, this approach is perfect, but the whole thing is they need to sit down, leadership need to sit down and restructure all these things, because one, look, a normal Ghanaian, that is what, Rana, that is how I feel, don't know the implication of what's just transpired. Look, easily to get malaria, typhoid, and even cholera. Fine. The hygiene aspects, we are not talking about it. And how to even keep our surroundings clean, as at you bath, you eat, you do all these things. Even as we speak now, the third one, we don't even have a bigger dumping site.
Yeah. As a piece. You
see, so me, I don't think after all this, they need to sit down and read program structure, everything. The initiative is perfect. But what are we going to do? You know, there's some time that a government came and we were doing operation clean your frontage, whatever.
Yeah, what happened?
Do you understand? So for me, this needs to go to the parliament. It must be a law, and then so that we can enforce it. It should be part of us. It should be weekly thing, something, so that it will be normal.
Yeah, but as it stands now, I think the first Saturday in every month is sanitation day.
I don't think, fine, it's okay, but it's supposed to be weekly. It's supposed to be part of us. Because I eat, I do refuse, I do so many things, and that's it. Sometimes people may, even if you go to look, let me give you, yesterday, I tried moving around a circle. If you go to the main station, there's where you can get a Blikumaka in one corner. You see a heap of refuse, as I'm talking right now.
It's still there.
It's still there.
Well, whilst the cleanup is going on,
but the problem is we'll clean today. Fine. But where can we dump all the refuse? The answer, we can clean up, park it somewhere, or maybe people will be burning it, which is not good. But where is the end result? It's supposed to be something daily. So yes, the assemblies has a bigger responsibility to do, but also, how are we going to do it? It's the finishing part, not just giving it names and doing it. How are we going to do it? How are our kids going to get involved? The P1, P2, how are they taking this initiative? Is it part of society? If it's part of the society, then how are we going to do it so that it will stick forever? Because I can remember most of the governments come, government go, give it a new name, we will do it, and it will not end anything. At the end of the day, you realize how be a disca. Yes, and we cannot make account to all these things. So it's a national something. So we need to stop politicizing certain things, especially what we are doing today, and make sure we come together and do a national something that will help in generations to come. So I applaud the president for taking this bold step. But I'll blame the MMDCs. Tenase, I'm a president, I'm a director before you will do this thing. No, then you don't know your job.
It should have been something they should have
something
taken out.
Part of them.
And this is actually happening because we cannot hold them accountable. It's the president that actually appoints these people. Assuming we can actually hold them accountable by voting for them, or these people are being elected. They are being elected, then we vote for them. I don't think we'll be here we are today. Don't you think so?
Let me give you one example. If really I know that I'm coming for it, that the people I may still have the opportunity to then go back to their homes, talk to them for them to vote for me. It's two things. Either I come, I don't work, I make money, I forget about the people, or I want to work so that the people vote for me. Even that one self, it is not 100% that they will vote for you. But if there are laws and rules abiding all these things, if you don't do this thing, this is what you must face. If you don't do this, then go for this. That one will rather help in a bigger picture. Doing it, accountability, and what have you. We need to implement all this. It's supposed to go to parliament so that they will pass it. Then the president has sent it, and we will make sure all these things will work. But for now, if we are saying yes, they should vote for MMDC, it's fine. But at the end of the day, it's two votes. I know after voting, okay, these people, let me do my business and go. Another person will come, he will campaign, or I'll do it. Maybe he will do it, maybe he will not do it. So if it is passed, it will push all our leaders to do the needful for the communities.
But why do we have to wait as a Ghanaian, as a country, for things to get that bad, or for floods to submerge our homes before we take the necessary action? Why are we not proactive about it, and we are being rather reactive?
The reason why I keep on saying is the law. Let's say I'm in Singapore now. Immediately I arrive, the mindset will tell me, hey, if you met with there, even the outside is more, it's more cleaner than even homes in Ghana, which is a fact. So the mind and the way you think will change. Why is it that? Because of the laws. Fast forward, if you go to Circle that time, Salifu Amankwa. Before you get to Circle, even your mother would, hey, maybe when she knows that is going to Circle, if you make a mistake by littering, you are dead. What is the reason? Because there are laws surrounding those places that
were people deployed.
People were deployed. Task forces were there. You cannot do anything like that. Even I cited an example right now that if you go to the main stage, you find a dumping most of the refuse there. It is leadership, but laws must be enforced. Secondly, what I feel is we need to work jaw with the military. Yes, when it comes to this thing, because see, a normal Ghanaian, if you don't force him, he will not do it. I say this thing: we must blend our democracy with a little military. That is a typical Ghanaian mindset. Certain things we don't need to, let's say, jail the person or whatever. One, let me give you an example. You later, or maybe the cameras capture you. You are maybe putting dust or whatever waste in raining water, right, or moving water. Then they get hold of you, and maybe they say, let's go to court. They'll take you to court, and later they say, go 2 months and come, go 3 months, even 10 years. Look, I don't see it. Sorry, quote in quotes. I don't see it something reasonable. Littering, if it's Odoko or say you sleep like 3 months every morning, cameras are on you. Look, black man need discipline, need a serious thing. If you tell me to go and sleep at Nsawam 3 months, 6 months, I'll come back. The thing will not change. Either it will be worse or nothing. So I feel there should be laws that will govern us when it comes to littering. It will be immediate something. The effect.
Our laws are not even working.
So
the laws are not even working.
let's blend the military.
Military personnel should be deployed
into our communities. And there should be bylaws for them so that they can use it to operate in our communities. Because me and you, we know, police there. Do you understand? But if there is even a single soldier in a community, at least, and everyone knows that this military man, this is the purpose he is coming to serve. We will take it to another level. For now, that is how I feel. Then they can go to Parliament and start doing the needful for us to follow. For now, we must use them.
Right. So a community service bill has been passed.
Yes.
And that means that certain minor laws, you wouldn't have to go to jail. Now, a judge can give an order that you should take communal labor to be your punishment. So now that is how it's going to work. But do you think that right here in Ghana we have enough storm drains when it comes to drains, that when it runs heavily, you can see the water, rushing towards those drains?
For me, we don't have enough, and we are not doing things that will help us. One, if you come to Circle, tiptoeing down there is a whole big gutter, and I can quite remember that June 3rd something. So people came that they want to know the reason why the water got overflowed there. So we gave them cameras for them to do whatever they do, so that at the end result we will know what transpired. After everything they did, they realized that the gutter was choked. What caused it? One, let's say, if you see this rubbish this pure rubber, take away whatever, thank you rubbish.
Yeah.
When it gets in there, let's say it gets hold of a little thing, it will be there. One will come, two will come, then it will be spreading. Okay. At the moment it gets hold of that space, water will not move again, because see, this rubber thing is very strong when it gets a canner to choke. So they came to realize that it did that for so many years. So you see a plywood will come, it will stop, metal will come, so it get blocked. So when the water came, it overflows, and they realized, no, this is the issue. So they came down, did a little investigation around the place, and they realized that it's a particular guy that did that. So they need to find him.
So it was a deliberate action by an individual.
As we speak, as we speak, they are on the gutter still. Everything is black. And if you go and do it, oh, me, 15 years, 20 years, why are you doing this to me? What will I eat? Where will I supposed to go if you tell me to go? But the problem is, what I see is we need to educate those people and let them understand it is waterway. It is waterway. Then let's say if the assembly will have a space, can build and let them go there. Assure them that, look, you are moving from here, I'm doing this thing for you, go there, but this is what you are going to pay. Because as you speak, go to those places, they are still on the gutter.
It's sad.
Do you understand? The problem is twofold. He or she will tell you he's been here since, let's say, 2 decades, 3 decades, and you are the only person you are coming to tell him to move. But when this thing happened, even recently, what transpired recently has never happened in Circle, because the water came as far as modern photos.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So what I want to let Ghanaians understand, if we don't try to understand that where we are now, we need pragmatic steps to take, though it will affect people, but it will not affect the masses for now.
Yeah. It's better that way.
Yeah. So as we speak, look, the government need to take a bold step, and we should not politicize this thing. Other than that, we'll be doing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Look, if you go to Alajo, that day I was in Alajo in the morning. I think that day...
Was it during the rain, 29th?
Yes, that day, it seems... Either I came here...
It looks like the whole of Alajo was...
Yeah,
was
either
flooded.
I came here or I went to another... Yeah, from there, I went... I said, no, let me go and be checking and see what is going on. Look, the whole Alajo. I don't know if you know Alajo very well.
I've lived in Alajo.
Okay, you know the other gutter in Alajo and the other one...
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this one came and this one came. So it was just like a small river. So before you can come out, unless they use a boat, the military people came with a boat, then you use and you come out. Why? The reason is the gutter was choked, and most of the activities they do, instead of leaving a space, like let's say 10 meters or 5 meters, you see containers, you see cars packed.
Hey, you build, you put up
go,
a whole building.
If you go and you tell them, I'm here for so many years, but now your money is gone. What you suffered for, let's say 20 years, 30 years, all is gone.
All is gone.
So we need to do or champion this campaign so that we will understand ourselves. Other than that, we will go square zero. Look at the money government gave. Check from 92 to date. The money every government have invested in, it's still square zero. So the bottom line, let's change our laws, implement it, use the military, enforce the laws. It's simple.
Yeah. So interacting with an individual, I think the last time on the show, where he made a suggestion that these plastic we actually see in our drainage and also the gutters, we should look for those companies of those plastics and find them. So for instance, if we see maybe this particular bottle, you know the company of this bottle, you calculate or maybe you gather the number of plastics owned by that
particular
company, then you find them. And I don't know if, in a nutshell, we should call for a ban on single-use plastic, like this takeaway, this black polythene bags, this pure rubbers, and then all of that, and transition to paper. Because now, if you go and buy wachi, they'll put it in the white rubber and put it in the black rubber. Sometimes they'll put it in the takeaway, which is the white one. Then they'll put it in the black rubber and add another designer bag on top of it. Immediately you get home, you cannot use that plastic again. You put it right into the dustbin, and if it's not disposed properly, it goes into our gutters and into our drainage. Do you think that government should take a very, strict measure, a drastic decision to ban single-use plastics?
It is perfect. Why am I saying this? Look, I believe in paper, and let's say this leaf thing. If you are going to buy wachi, yes, all these things, it will not help us. Why? Because before we started using this one, we needed a basic education how to use, let's say, poly bags and how to segregate them. We don't know that. Let's say if I take pure water, let me put pure water bag in this dustbin, and let's say if I do another, let's say, metal waste in my house, let me put it in this dustbin. We don't know. And with the waste companies, we don't even understand how waste company work. We should get a specific waste company. Let's say they only deal in paper, some to only deal in plastics, some to only deal in metals, so that we can do it. That one, doing the law, I know Kojo Mensah pure water is mine, so I'll make sure all my rubbers will go to a particular place. That one, it is money. So let's say if you bring 10 of Kojo Mensah pure water, I'm going to give 5 pesos. It's a business. But we because of the education, most of us or most of Ghanaians don't know. So for me, if there will be a law for us to do all these things, best is we need to stop using plastics.
Single-use plastic.
We need to.
Plastic where you cannot use them
again.
And I think government also has to take up the initiative.
We need to
do a recycling company.
I know most of these takeaway bags companies will be complaining, but they need to sit them down and tell them, hey, this is the situation. So change your machines to this. We are giving you time, so that it won't be noise in the country. That's a German Niho, and you want to take what we are getting from us. So we educate them, we give them timelines so that they follow, and we stop using all these things, because it will not help. Because rubbers, I think it lasts more than anything on it. Rubber.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it takes longer years for us to decompose.
So me, I support the initiative, because if it's paper, let's say if it's paper and it's in the Odo River and water, if it gets to the water about 5 minutes, it will just move.
Yeah, it melts.
Do you understand? So me, I don't believe we should be massaging all these paper poly companies. We should meet them so that we do a lot of dialogue and we finalize the move on. Because look, there's a lot of money in waste, but it depends how we are going to approach them. That will make us get what we want. So it's about time we change our mindset.
We change our mindset
in our surroundings, in our workplace, and what have you.
Yeah. So what are you expecting to see right after this cleanup?
I expect leadership to come on board. And when I say leadership, it's the assemblies. They need to come on board together with the landlords, together with the bosses around each and every community, to let them understand that this is the situation. It is Jojo, help me, I help you. Because you invest and it will not go waste. But if you invest in, let's say, 5-10 years, it will go waste. And what are we doing to the country? So the mandate solely will base on the assembly, the MMDCs, to make sure the environmental and sanitation works in every constituency properly, not like as a discal or something that it will not help the community.
Anyhow.
Because it depends. Let's say if you go to an environment like, let's say Akramaman, it's in West Akramaman. The approach of sanitation is different from, let's say, some place like Circle.
So what is the approach?
The approach is one, you get weeds. Weeds are all over, and we don't have much gutters because it's now developing. And secondly, the contractors are not active there.
Oh, really?
It is true.
The contractors on the road?
No, the contractors for the waste management, they are not active at all. They normally comes when we are making noise like this. You see them around, but they come once a while. Still, they'll be taking their money, which is very bad. So the assemblies need to have a critical look into this matter so that we can champion and make sure our environment are clean. And secondly, to our advice, or this is just an advice to the assemblies. Sometimes they give contrast to people that they don't even have machines to work. They don't even have a dumping site to take the refuse. It is sad because of 10%, 5%, you do it and later there will be more implication for Ghanaians and properties. So I'll plead that we will do the needful so that we can move on as a country. The president has done his part. Right now, it's left to you and me to make sure it is done properly.
Mr. Ampon, you are actually vying for a position in the Amasamai, and I believe in all of this is related to that particular position. What are you looking at to do to help your community?
When it comes to cleanup, I have a fair idea because I was former chairman for environmental and sanitation in Ghana West. That is Amasama constituency. So I know the do's and don'ts and what will make us very clean and malaria free, typhoid free, and all these little things that we normally come over. So with the assembly, to be frank, and let me say it on record here, as it stands now, we'll be having our elections in October, and I'll make sure, though my position and in the assembly may be like this, but so far as I'll be in leadership, I'll make sure things will be done in the communities. Either you are an NDC or you are an MPP or you are a floating voter, I'll make sure things will be done when it comes to sanitation. I will champion the cause and make sure Ghana West will be a place that you can even visit and even sleep anywhere without mosquitoes.
Without mosquitoes. We wish you all the best, and we hope that your plans for your constituency actually comes to pass. Now, what would you say to those already on grounds for the cleanup and also those who will get to join tomorrow?
I would say big ups to my boss, Sadem Kokuafenyo. This morning, I know communities like Manhia, Sakina, Dediman, Kushibiade, Joma, Peace Village, Aikandu Blue, Akramaman, Doblo Gono, Kotoku, Medie, Mayra, Samsam Gono, and a whole lot. I know all these places, they are active, making sure the initiative or the directive from the president is being transferred this morning. Yeah. And I know we are going to continue and make sure our homes and our surroundings will be clean and will be free from flood. And I know the assembly to educate the people around so that we will do the needful, making sure we get a cleaner and a better Ghana West in days to come.
Yeah, so National Cleanup Exercise Day is happening today and also tomorrow. I believe you are watching the videos already. You've seen the videos trending online. The institutions are out, individuals are out, security agencies are also out, making sure that they are supervising the cleanup exercise. Please do all to join. Tomorrow is going to be in our communities. Make sure you are part of it. If you want us to, if we want flood to be prevented, it actually comes as a shared responsibility. We all have a role to play. Make sure that you join the cleanup exercise. If you're unable to join today, it shouldn't actually be an excuse that you will not be able to join today. You have to join today and join tomorrow as well. Right from here, I'm going to join the cleanup. So make sure you do. Thank you so much for joining us on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll meet same time next week. Have a lovely weekend.